What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Trials Halftime, right here on the Crucible Coliseum, part of the SNTR network. Got a little interesting one for you tonight. I'll be honest with you guys from the very beginning. I didn't schedule any guests for this evening or the coming weekend. I'll be honest with you, and something special is going on in my life. My fiance is very close to giving birth, and to be honest with you, I have been on a holding pattern, on standby, really unaware whether or not my son is going to be coming at any moment. But it didn't take away my time from being on this holding pattern that I'm waiting, that I did dive into a little bit of Trials. I did try to hit up a few of my buddies to see if they would come on and talk a little bit. It being a little bit of last second, and actually coincidentally one of my good friends, he's dealing with an anniversary with his other significant other. So it's really not a small world when it comes to having to deal with other priorities outside of video games. Nonetheless, I did take the time to play a little bit this weekend. I want to go in with you guys, tell you what I saw, tell you how I'm feeling, and basically just go over the normal numbers as usual. If you're first joining us this week, I want to first introduce myself. Wolverine VZ by name. PvP player mostly. Spent a lot of time in Destiny 2. And I'm just an avid team player. I love being a part of a cohesive team, being successful with that team, and being able to go ahead and go the distance with that team. And then build friendships along the way, camaraderie. And then, sometimes those friendships will take me into different games, different journeys for my life, getting to meet people from across the country, and then still maintaining those relationships are a big part of why I still like to be competitive in video games, other than the fact that just dealing with my boredom. So basically what this show is about, each and every week I want to bring you guys, my viewers, and the people watching live audience, and people that are catching the video when it goes to the live feed after we're done recording, is an interview process. I want you guys to meet other individuals like yourselves, or at the better level, or even sometimes at the lower level, to get a good pulse exactly what's going on in the Crucible. Big thing I want to do with this show is open up the stage to kind of bring individuals that are either very expansive in the Crucible or not so much, and get their point of view, get their perspective, exactly how they're feeling on any particular week that we're covering. Every week, honestly, that I've started the show since January 2nd has been a little bit different. Yes, the same topics have been there, what guns we're using, what rewards we're having, because a lot of this same stuff is what we've been dealing with, but there's new topics to talk about, especially now that they're tweaking things, and we had a big TWAB, which another thing I would like to go over. So, without further ado, I'll just go ahead and bring in the map for you guys. All right, so as you can see, we got Rusted Lands this week. A little bit different. I'm actually kind of a fan of it. It spaces things out a little bit, gives you that much freedom to escape the treacherous ice wall grenade that people have been having trouble with. I will be honest, I've seen characters across the spectrum get away from that. If I am not able to stun, slow, kind of inhibit the Guardian a little bit before throwing that grenade, chances are they're gonna get out of it. So I think changes to the ice wall grenade and the slam have been towards the positive. Let me know in the comments right now. I'm going to be as responsive as I can to the comments today, since I don't have any of my other guests. So I want to incorporate my viewers as well that are in the live audience, and then also in the comment section. Let me know, do you think it was enough as well with the changes that they made 2 weeks ago in the TWAB? And then let me know also when we dive into the TWAB changes that we have with the gunplay and the Sandbox. So let's stop beating around the bush, and let's just jump right into some of the things they're changing and how some people were feeling over the week. If you guys were here and saw the Rageous Roundtable that happens every Friday, but the most previous one that happened on Friday on the SNTR network, we kind of went over that in brief and seeing what were going to be people's responses. And I gave my opinion, and I still kind of feel it, that it holds credence after the fact, because I've been reading a lot of other people's opinions, and it's kind of similar to the fact that this mouse and keyboard nerf, so to speak, where it's causing it a little bit more difficult for mouse and keyboard to be a little bit more precise compared to controllers. It's like they're leveling the playing field for, say, crossplay perhaps. So some people might feel a different opinion about it, and it's completely understandable. It's actually welcomed here. I have been using a controller now on first-person shooters, I'd say, for roughly, I'd say at least a decade now. I've made the full transition. There are still plenty of games I utilize mouse and keyboard for. Diablo, WoW. You see where I'm kind of going with what has keeping my drift with it. But speaking to a lot of my PC-only players, they know a lot of individuals that are quote-unquote cracked out when it comes to their controller play. And the aim assist is real. The aim assist is very real, and individuals can take advantage of that aim assist with their controller play. I don't think it's a problem because it's within the game. Unless Bungie puts out a standout to what they want to change about aim assist, it's going to be there. It's going to be utilized. But I still feel those top 0.1% individuals you'll see on mouse and keyboard, because those individuals are so precise with every shot. And that will continue to be the cream of the crop, in my opinion, when we talk about the highest echelon of this game will more than likely be on mouse and keyboard, as it has been for quite some time now. So let's talk about some of these archetype changes. The auto rifle, scout rifle, pulse rifle, sub, hand cannon, and the machine gun the following archetypes will get mouse and keyboard recoil adjusters close to controller. So as you can see, verbatim, almost paraphrasing what I'm saying, it's like we're getting prepared to level the playing field and move on to this cross-contaminated world that we have. A lot of people are curious whether or not the ability to toggle on and off to matchmake with individuals on PC or on console or what have you. Personally, I think that would be a fine idea. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but I think before we jump the gun, and please let me know in chat right now and in the comments as well, I feel that a lot of these conversations and a lot of these sandbox changes and a lot of these crossplays and things that we're talking about in the future are almost very infinitesimally futile because of the fact we don't have a substantial anti-cheat. You know, you hear that tone reverberate week in, week out. Content creator after content creator, no anti-cheat. And that's not something that Bungie is going to let us know, hey, we got the perfect solution, here it is. For obvious reasons. They are not going to let the powers that be that make these godforsaken subscription services to cheat the one-up to get the tech so they can start making the cheats to bypass the system. So, with that being said, a lot of these conversations have a big cloud over it because we don't have an anti-cheat, at least we as consumers, and not behind the Wizard of Oz drape that they have there at Bungie, aren't aware of a current anti-cheat. We do know that DDoSing protection is supposedly, because of TWABs, I say supposedly just because kind of got to put a little asterisk on some of these things when pushing it out, whether it's the first week of a season or a new expansion. They do, or they have said, DDoS protection on the way. I think DDoS protection for the console community is going to be such an amazing step to handling the cheating and manipulation problem. There are individuals, and individuals that I've brought on my show, actually, and please, if you haven't checked out any of my shows, that will give you guys an idea what this is on a week-to-week basis. Granted, like I said in the beginning of the show, this week's a little bit different. I didn't schedule any guests because, like I said, I am on a holding pattern. I'm waiting for my firstborn son, and I don't know. It could literally happen any second. And I feel like I'm going to be rushing out of the door with a bag in my hand like you see in the movies, through the hospital with a woman not knowing what to do. I'm really hoping that's not the case, but please watch my old videos on this channel and subscribe if you like it, of course, and like, but you'll get an idea of what I'm trying to do on the show. This show is to bring the community together for once in a very positive way, especially in the PvP realm. I feel getting this community together to share information, whether it's on maps, guns, rewards, stats, strats, things that will help other players be better. And honestly, these sort of tools will help open the funnel to make this game and this playlist, this Crucible, much more appealing to the people that aren't in there every day. I play this game to be good in the Crucible. I do pretty much everything there is to come from, minus Grandmasters on a habitual point. I'm not going to get into why, but minus that, I have done it all. And I enjoy doing it, coming from my background in other than PvP content has been Diablo 2. I grinded that game for at least a decade, from growing up in middle school all the way into close to my college years. So I know what it takes to grind, and I know what I want out of a grind game. Destiny hits it at some points, and we all are, let's just face it, we all love this game for the gunplay. We feel the guns feel good, they look cool, they sound cool. So for them to not take that into a PvP standard and make it a perfect and highlight it, nothing's perfect, but make it somewhat perfect and make it a cornerstone of your game would almost be criminal, because this game, from the creators from who originally started, Bungie being the Halo series, we can go back, we can digress all day long on what nostalgia road of what this game and developers used to be for us, but let's not stray too far to the point, because we're still here. It's like an addiction. We still continuously come back to this game because we enjoy it in every aspect. I see you guys in chat talking about the new Hunter armor and the new Trials armor altogether. That looks cool. That's part of the excitement I want to kind of get us going into season 13 as well, when this show, which I'm really hoping, because the support I've received thus far, I got to take a second to say thank you, because the support I've received thus far for the show has been immense, more so than I have ever expected. So my expectation levels have been through the roof because of what you guys have done to help me. So big thank you to everyone, and big thank you for being here and supporting and liking and also supporting the SNTR network, because if it wasn't for that network and Lono and being who he is to help a person be a part of his project because he sees the value in it, is very humbling to me. So give his channel some love. If you're not subscribed, if you're not joined over there, please do it, because there is a Destiny conversation Monday through Friday. If you really can't get enough of this game, even if you're angry and you want to vent it out, this is the place for you. There's discourse, but at a very civil level. Everyone respects everybody here, and even in here, everyone respects everybody. We're here to help people be better in the Crucible. That's ultimately what I want. I want people to come in here to help me be better, because when I play with some of the best players, some of the individuals that I've even brought onto the show that are at a higher level than me, I take something every time and I make myself that much better. And that's ultimately what I'm hoping that my viewers will do when I bring on different guests, and even some things for myself on a week-to-week basis, that they can take parts of it into their game and make themselves better, instilling confidence, so you can get in an LFG, or you can message two buddies and say, let's try Trials this weekend. I think it's a good weekend. So, moving on to the next part of the TWAB. All right, we have the submachine gun. I was really curious about this, because we remember what submachine guns, more particularly the Recluse, was doing. Personally, I still remember the Antiope days with the submachine gun meta, but we know how lethal it was. Are they wanting to bring that back? Let me know in chat as well. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that submachine guns, after that announcement, they're trying to raise that up a little bit, trying to bring it on par when we're in the close quarter combat situation? They've acknowledged that it's mid-range against auto rifles, it's close to none, and even sidearms. To be honest with you, most of you know I am a sidearm user. Got me a little worried if people are going to be up close on me on submachine guns. Hey, they could be able to take a Guardian out pretty quickly. So that was definitely something. The pulse rifle machine gun changes that it was kicking too much. Personally, let me know what you think. It's not really something I use outside of PvE, to be honest. I can't remember the last time I used a pulse rifle in the PvP sector. I don't have a problem with anybody that uses pulse rifles. There's been some individuals that have been very good with the trusty. Don't sleep on the trusty. You get an opening shot killing wind, hold on to that. at the Crucible right now, in the right hands, really nice. If you got one of those, let me know if it's working for you, or if you at least wanted to try it, because I'd be curious to see that out. So the pulse rifles, the machine guns, you know, they said we'll pay close attention to these changes and how they will play out when they go live. I like that, but it kind of harkens back to the point of the word listening, and I'm not here to bash, like, we're playing the game. We're not here to talk crap to the highest intent, but it comes back to how we felt of the word listening talk, in my opinion. And I'll be honest, it's part of that worry, I'll say, for the lack of a bigger word, I'm a little worried about that, because I don't want to see things get to the point where it detracts too many other people. The game right now is beyond jokes on tweets and stuff like that, because the game's got to be about bringing the community together and bringing people back in, so that community can be a lot bigger than what it was. I know I'm probably like making some of y'all roll your eyes, and probably so, but let's face it, we've been playing this game for 7 years. There is some sort of gold still left. There's still some oil dig deep down that we could probably pull up before Witch Queen comes out. Yeah, it might sound like crazed and lunatic optimism, but man, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, because you know what? I'm back in this game because my playlist came back. Meaning Trials. Trials is the reason why I wanted to return to this game, because I like the idea of getting in there with two other individuals and having to rely on them, and them having to rely on you. Nothing's better than having a teammate's back, saving them from a situation, giving them a good call out. Man, if you're not a person who carries, and you're a person who likes to get two other really good individuals like yourself in there, there's really nothing better than doing it like that. I've helped individuals, and I think that's an awesome feeling too. And if you're capable of doing that, I hope you're doing that more often than some, because that's a big part of helping people see, you know, the lighthouse, so to speak. It's letting them see what it's like to get in there, and that it's really not that bad. Granted, the loot's kind of lackluster and subpar at the moment, but man, just take a look at that tweet and of what those new armor pieces look like. They're looking pretty clean. It has me feeling positive on what the future might look like, even in other aspects of the game too. You might not hear me say it a lot, but strikes and gambit armor could be looking promising. So it is definitely something to take in the positive. There aren't many things that we can take to positives nowadays, but at the same time, yeah, you're gonna take that water when you're in the desert, no matter what. But hopefully we're gonna be in an oasis really soon. I know, again, it could be crazed optimism, but let's continue on a little bit. Rocket launchers, you know, I'd like to see their utilization go up more. I know they did call out 3-peaking this weekend. A lot of people in the community were very happy to see that. I was very happy to see that. There was a little condescension in terms of figuring out the solution, and I don't want to add to that condescension, but I feel a lot of the people that were making comments were pretty spot on in terms of trying to figure out some sort of easy solution. Maybe in terms of code and backdoor coding and programming, it may not be as simple as not being able to turn or to equip your sword when there's no ammo, or turning on an emote the middle of the round. Granted, I am not in programming, but I'm assuming none of these individuals that are with their suggestions are either. But it seems to be a consensus that maybe turning off an emote during trials or comp, even PvP, maybe just having emotes be off on PvP, and then the ability to not equip or ready your sword without there being any ammo. Again, I don't know. I'm not a programmer. If you are, let me know in the comments. Let me know in chat if you're here right now. Give me your suggestion. What do you guys think in chat right now is a good way to deal with this problem with 3-peaking? They're acknowledging it. At least they're acknowledging it. A lot of people were just happy to hear that. Were you guys happy? How are you feeling about that? Personally, I was happy, but I'll jump a little bit ahead. I feel a lot of my 3-peaking worries were kind of handled with stasis because of just the way I play. There's still plenty of it around. It's affecting people in all different ways. So it's acknowledged by them. It's not intended. It's something they want to deal with. Great. I hope it's the greatest solution. I hope it doesn't get dragged on for 2+ seasons. And I hope everyone's pretty happy with it. So with that being said, let's move on to the final portion of it. The nerfs to the sniper flinch. I'm happy about this. And this is just my perspective, and maybe you guys might feel the same way. I already do not put sniper flinch resistant on my chest armor. Why being? If I'm putting in myself the situation as a person who's predominantly sniping in the special category, if I'm not hitting that person first, I probably just failed. So if I have that mindset, I am not feeling obligated to put that flinch on. Where I think this also helps an individual like myself, and tell me if this kind of relates to you as well. Have you ever been in a circumstance where you're putting rounds into a Guardian and they still pop that headshot? Granted, they might have that armor flinch mod on. Sometimes it could seem a little bit weighted towards the Guardian firing the sniper round. Let me know what you think. You could have a different opinion. I welcome it. But a lot of times I felt like I'm laying into another Guardian. They were still able to hit that headshot pretty easily, especially with the Arbalest. Which, thank the man above or the person above. What is going on? They finally acknowledged that Arbalest is on their radar. They finally said, hey, Arby is something that we're going to look at. Arby is something that we are going to have to put in front of us and have to figure out exactly what are we going to do with it. Is there too much aim assist? Is it just feeling too sticky? A lot of people have told me that use it a lot. They can just aim at the torso and it's headshot. How are you guys feeling in chat? Let me know in the comments as well. Arbalest, everything that I'm talking about in terms of a divisive take. Not too divisive, but it's got a one side and another side. Let me know. Tell me how you think. Do you agree or disagree? It's great if you disagree too, because I welcome that as well. All right. So that was basically the last portion of just like cleanup work I wanted to do in regards to the topics that I would talk about with my guests in regards to basically the TWAB and This Week at Bungie and what's going on in Crucible related activities or content that is going to affect it. So like I said, if you've watched my previous videos and you've seen, I will bring my guests on and we will talk about those topics that are going on a weekly basis. So next thing I want to just go over with you guys exactly what's going on this week in Trials. Clearly, as you see right on the screen in front of you, Rusted Lands. We haven't had Rusted Lands in a minute. I'm actually kind of a fan of Rusted Lands. I said that in the beginning of the episode. It's spacious enough so you can kind of be mobile, nimble, and then there's still areas and corridors where you can create a close quarter engagement. To begin, we got Helmet for the 3 wins. We got Eye of Soul, the Sniper at 5. We got the Summoner at 7. Flawless is class item. Yeah, I know. And unfortunately, fortunately, if you are collecting all of them, we have the Reload Adept mod. It's not very promising, ladies and gentlemen. I know. But let me be honest with you in terms of my biggest incentive currently. And it may not appeal to some, and it's completely understandable. But if you're like myself that kind of wants to get ahead of the curve in terms of having things readily available if you get a good gun with a good roll and not having that adept mod, I wanted to get a head start. Even if it was just going flawless once and grinding my gears all weekend to get that one adept mod, that's ultimately what I was trying to do. In my opinion, there's about three of the guns in here that are worth the adept rolls: Summoner, Eye of Soul, and the shotgun. With that being said, we have new, along with the armor that they just teased us, new weapons that are going into the Adept loot pool as well. We're not going to be having the same Trials weapons that we had. We will have new weapons next season as well. So that is another thing to look forward to in terms of this playlist kind of evolving. To be honest, this half-baked mentality, these thoughts should have went in way back when, but it's hard to nitpick at this point. I just really hope that from here on that they've had their year out of the umbrella and shadow and darkness that was Activision, and now they are able to get their roots dug deep and really figure out why was Trials of Osiris and Destiny 1 almost 1 million players practically every weekend. Got to get back to that. And a big part of that is making that funnel bigger, making the rewards a lot more appealing than what they are this weekend. Maps, you're gonna always hit or miss. You're gonna truly always hit or miss. Some people are gonna like a map a certain week. You got to deal with Banner. Next week might be a little rough. We got Banner next week as well, but we do have the last Adept weapon to receive, the rocket, and now the rocket changes. Maybe that Adept rocket launcher might be worth getting. So that might be something to go after. Again, I'm going to be on a holding pattern until next week as well. If nothing happens and I get a day in and I'm still waiting next Saturday, kind of hoping we go to the hospital on Super Bowl Sunday, because how cool would it be to have a baby on the Super Bowl? But I'm kind of hoping that if I am around next Saturday, I get to talk about it with, I'll try to get 2 guests if being, like I said, I don't want to have to cancel on these individuals, but I want to talk about that rocket launcher a little bit, because the rocket launcher is something that I'm utilizing right now on my Guardian. I'm not using a sword. If I have to 3-peak, I'll be honest with you, I will just emote. But I'm not using a sword right now because I want to have that extra chance at victory if heavy round arises. You never know. You truly will never know when might be the perfect opportunity to take that engagement to the next level, because you got that much better of a heavy weapon. So let's just dig right in, because this is the time where I would utilize the floor to introduce you to the 2 Guardians, get their feeling on the topics that we just went over in pretty thorough digress. I will be honest, I didn't think I was going to be able to talk that long, but you know, the comments, what you guys are doing right now, I really appreciate y'all being here. I'm doing my best to try to balance this act that Lono does. Like, it makes it look very simple, and I'll be honest, paying attention to him has kind of put me in the best position to get in front of you guys. Heck, you know, knock on wood, we haven't had any OBS problems thus yet, so this is actually looking to be a pretty decent episode. So as you guys can see, Rusted Lands, it's a little different. You got that pond side, you got that beach side. Those are our 2 spawns. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into the gameplay. Well, I'm not going to, you know what I mean. Let me also know if in chat how you guys have fared so far this weekend. I'll be honest with you, it took me a little bit this weekend to get started. I started out a little rough at first, trying to pick up where utilizing the Revenant subclass would be best featured, Bacchus and that far, where are my engagement points, which I will go over right now in terms of where you're going to see your most action this weekend, and some flanking opportunities that can help you kind of reposition a team in case you ever have to go a different route. So I'll give you guys just right from the beginning something that I'll do every week, and something that I like to do with my guests as well. Right when we load into map, depending on which spawn we are at, we'll just go through the basics. What are you doing right off the rip? I will also try not to jump right here. Some people will catch you with a nasty one all the way down there. If you are coming up here for a snipe, as some people do, right here, right in the back, right by the truck, or even on the truck. Those are just some things to keep an eye out if you just aren't aware right now. But like I said, something that I do, I will avoid that jump at the beginning. I will run right here, kind of give myself a little boost right there, and I'm just peeking that. I'm watching up here. You better, if you see a Guardian jump up here and you get a headshot, that orb will stay up there. That's a pretty deadlock orb. I've had a few of those happen this weekend, and we were able to change the tide of a round because we knew that orb was almost inaccessible from out there. One other thing I'll like to do, I kind of read this like a quarterback. If a lot of you follow American football, quarterbacks will have read options with plays. They'll have their first read, their second read, and their third read. And I'll go right through it. First read, second read, and then I'll come right here, right at the line. So the head peeks up, that's my third read right there. If I got to worry about what's behind me, I got to look right there, and then you got this right back there. So those are things that you can kind of look at as a sniper individual to peek certain areas, certain vantage points that the Guardians on the other side, on the other spawn, will utilize to either get a hold on you or even just to get a look to see what you guys are doing. From the other direction, just because we are on the same kind of topic right now with the off the rip and everything like that. So from this spawn, I will jump right from the beginning, try to make my way over here, and then I got a few read options. I'll read right here first. Shadows, look at the shadows. A lot of people will jump right over this hole, and I didn't say this from the other side because I wanted to wait until we got over here, because this is where my read option technique will come into play when I back up. But I want to almost explain this where a majority of your engagements will be this weekend. A lot of it happens right here. A lot of bouncing, a lot of back and forth, a lot of dust fields. A lot of dust fields are going on right here. Go in with them. If you got them, you make sure you're utilizing them, because they will drag a Guardian that is 3-peeking right here. So you throw it right here, they'll pull them right here, team shot, and you're in control of the board at that point. Dust fields have taken such a huge turn since the changes to Ice Wall and the Shatter Dive. I feel kind of balanced it out. I'm still seeing a good amount of Shatter Dives, which I'm happy, because I still feel that skill shouldn't just be nerfed to the ground because people don't like to die by it, or people aren't using only weapons anymore. We are Guardians of Power. We're not Guardians of Guns. I think gunplay should be brought up to close to where we were before, but I personally, I'm liking where these powers are. We should have more effectiveness with grenades. Those dust field grenades, in congruence with the Whisper of Durance, man, you are frozen very quickly. And some Guardians will fall up with the shuriken right as inside, and it's almost instantaneous. It is almost instantaneous. Let me know also in the comments and chat what's going on with your opinion on Behemoth. I made a video earlier in the week, a very short video. It's something new that YouTube is doing. It's something new that on the SNTR network we're trying to incorporate on a regular basis with all of our channels, is these shorts. And I made a short on the Behemoth, and I called it, "Can the Behemoth be stopped?" Currently, right now, in the right hands, I really don't think so. Good teamwork, call outs, team shots, maybe a super, you could probably subdue one. But man, sometimes I see the other team I'm playing and I see 3 Behemoth subclasses. It's gonna be a long one. Typically those cats are running full intellect as well, so they're coming hard. Especially when they got those. So one other thing I want to just point out, some observations. I've avoided this room as much as I can. I try not to run through it. I try not to chase through it. If I know there is another fight going on, I might run through it, but I'll be honest with you folks, I'm avoiding this tunnel right here. It is a death trap in here. It's a death trap even when it's 6v6. It's a death trap in comp. It's just a death trap. You have heavy. Heavy's important for most teams. For some teams, just don't get caught in here. If you die in here, you are putting your fire team in a really awkward position to get you back if they need to get you, because it's not simple. It's not simple at all. So, like I said, every week I will, along with myself and the two other fire team members that I will have, we will break this down. I'll give you their perspective on terms of what they're doing, what's successful, what are they seeing, what are different pathways that are helping them to be successful. One thing I have noticed is that, before even continuing this point, this is the point right here. When it goes into overtime, I am standing on the point. So this spawn, when we are spawning on the beach, is ideal for point sitting and capping and waiting and supercharging. This is where this building 5 and this back building with, let me show you this right here. Nice little peak lane right here if you ever wanted to know. And then you can just swing right here and you can just get them coming down like that. Forgot to mention that in the beginning. This is another one I utilize if I ever have to sit back here. And you get kind of good access if you ever have to come back around. But what I'm trying to get at is what is a good way to kind of get the flank on a team that is holding this point. A lot of teams, they will go right up and like a bull in a china shop and go through this most conflicted area that I pointed to in the beginning. I don't like it. I'll be honest with you. Especially if it's not working, I will tell my fire team, let's roll. Let's try something else. And what I have done, and that what has shown me some decent success, and let me know in the comments as well what you have done to see some success in terms of dealing with teams that are just on that cap point. A lot of good teams, and even I've had some success with it. They'll be looking right here at the Guardian that's sitting in the back, trying to peek that lane. They'll snipe from right there, try to get a pick right here, and then just trying to compose themselves to work around and try to get the team that's holding in here to back off a little bit. Now you've created a tug of war for this position. Some teams, they're not going to just continue to sit back here because they're fishing a barrel either down here or even down here for some parts. They're going to be right here. They're going to be right up here. Be aware for this head peek as well. If you're sniping right there, there's a nasty little head peek if you're on this other end. But, you know, you've created a tug of war for this point with your fire team because you have flanked to the other side. Some teams, though, let me be honest, though. Some teams will be prepared for this flank. They see one person come over here. They're already up top in this building. If you need a three-peek right here. Until they fix it, it's free information. No harm in doing it. It's just part of what it is. When they fix it, then we're going to be having different discussions. But utilize that. Take the time. Do not, please, one thing I can't stress enough to benefit your fire team. Please do not rush into engagements. Communicate as well. If you see something different, you see a Guardian go a different way, just call it out. Part of success within this playlist, if you are not the top 5 to 0.1%, communication. Be on all cylinders with all of your teammates. Be able to collapse together. Big part of my team success this season has been pushing orbs on first pick. I've had a few guests say that as well, that getting that first pick and how you take advantage of that orb can definitely turn the tide on a round or even a game for that matter. That's and honestly, folks, that's pretty much it I have for this level. Again, going back to constraints of me waiting whether or not my fiance is ready to have this baby, I didn't schedule any guests. I have a lot of guests that are interested, a lot of people that have hit me up that have loved how this show is working, and I really cannot wait to bring you their perspectives on the new season that's right around the corner. We're roughly 2 weeks away from season 13 and our first week of Adept armor, and let me tell you, if you haven't looked at that armor yet, it is looking hot. It is looking hot, and that is not a pun either, because there's a little bit of fire going on with it. It's looking pretty special. So again, if you haven't checked that out already, please do. Please get a little bit excited. I know it's hard nowadays to get excited about the PvP element of this game, whether you're coming from the PC and you're dealing with cheaters, or you can't get a team together on console. what have you. Like, let's change that. Let's be a part of the solution to fix that. Let's get together, whether it's in here or in a party, you and other individuals, talk about what you're gonna do, and always be cool to other people. Like, especially on your other team, people make mistakes, bring them up in situations. Obviously they continue to make the same mistakes, they're not learning for it. Maybe it's time to find a new team, but hey, you got each other's back. I promise it will come every week. Typically I am finding one individual within Xbox LFG or even PC LFG, and I am going flawless with that individual because I'm typically on late at night on the West Coast and I just want to play. And I don't have a bunch of friends on that are up at 4 a.m. Eastern or 6 a.m. Eastern, whatever the case may be. And I'll just jump into LFG, and I've been able to connect and meet some people over the tenure of the show, and even the tenure of the last 2 seasons, that I still hit them up and talk to them on a daily basis. And I'm going to continue to try to bring those individuals on this show because I have learned a lot from playing with good people, putting myself around even individuals that haven't been in the Crucible as well, because their outlook on the game helps me take a rear look to say, wow, like why aren't these individuals interested in coming? So again, not to digress too much, but a lot of this show works with the 2 guests that I bring on, and that's something that is always going to be a constant in the future. I hope you all understand why it's not going on right now. It is kind of something really special right now, so I have to be just on the ready, on the hold at any point, and I didn't want to bring in 2 individuals just to cancel on them. But at the same time, after that great roundtable that we had on Friday and the nice surge of subscribers, which I'm so appreciative for Lono and you guys in the community for making this possible, because this was never anticipated. I would even say dream for. It wasn't even something I was thinking about, but I'm so happy to be welcomed into a community and actually make friends along the way. So thank you again for making me a part of a Saturday regiment thus far. And even if you're catching this later on, I appreciate you watching after the fact, because this has been a lot of fun for me, and I hope we can continue to build on this growth, because I want at least from the end that I'm coming from in the Destiny PvP community, to be something positive, to be like, yo, his community, they'll help. If you need someone to run with, they're going to help you. If you need some information, or if you aren't sure on something, this community will help you. And this community is part of the SNTR community. So I want that to be a homogenized one together, so we can bring this all together and we can get more people flawless. I'm telling you, that's a lot to do with the guests that I brought on. A lot of those guests that I brought on, especially the 2 individuals on last week, they run carries all weekend long. Check them out. Papa Punny, freaking sweet, on Twitch. Please give them some love. They're running right now, so if you're wanting to play when we're done with this show, which will probably be in a little bit, because personally I didn't know I was going to go this long, but I'm really happy that I did, and I'm really happy I was able to engage with you guys and take this to a point that I probably didn't think I'd be able to do solo. So irregular tactics call for regular measures. So again, I'm really happy that you guys are all here tonight and a part of that. And again, if you're watching later on, I'm really happy that you're able to be a part of, the community as well, even in that aspect. As always, like, share, and subscribe this if you are enjoying everything that you're seeing, because there is more to come within this channel, within SNTR Presents. If you're a fan, and I don't want to dive off of the Destiny topic, but hey, if you're a fan of Marvel, you're a fan of DC, you're a fan of movies, Repeat Theater is another channel I'm a part of with Lono. We're doing really big things on there as well, but not to take away from what's to come. What's to come here in Destiny, hopefully really big things. We have another raid coming in the next, hopefully, four months. And we got PvP content, hopefully going to get an overhaul with Trials as a starting point. Maybe we can work into different Crucible playlists. I know I'm setting my expectations a little high, but I think at this point, we kind of have to. We've been promised a lot of things. They've been separated. We got expansions. We got new season outlooks. We got no FOMO. we are ready to set expectations and hold these people letting us know this information. Hey, this is what you promised. This is what it's supposed to come. Are we going to get something half-baked? Are we going to get something ready to eat and ready to go? Because we're hungry. PvP community is hungry. PvE community, you're there too. I know you guys are hungry. So we're ready to take this to the next level. And I'm really hoping Season 13 is the starting point. We'll have a different conversation. We'll grunt and moan if we're not. But I don't want to do that. And I know that we are going to be ready for the next chapter when the time comes. So this is the final segment of the show. And this is a segment where I've wanted to utilize my community and people watching to give back a little bit. Because if you're joined with the SNTR community, Lono's community, at any level, and you play a little bit of PvP, you played a little bit of Trials one weekend, not the current weekend, but the previous weekend, or any weekend for that matter, and you did something really cool, please send me what you got. I love watching people's clips. I truly do. I think it's one of the best parts of PvP when I'm not playing personally is watching people take themselves to the next level. If your adrenaline's going in a scenario and you clipped it, that's what I want. I want to showcase it. And I'll be honest, I did get one very late. Salty on Xbox, Gengar on YouTube, big part of this community. He's been a very avid supporter of this. Shout out to him. I got your clip just a little too late, brother. I would have put it on. I got it literally 15 minutes before I went live, and I didn't have enough time to edit it and put it in. But if you have a 30-second clip and you're part of this community, and even if you're not, you're coming into this show on a weekly basis, and I recognize your name has been pretty good, send me your clips. Halftime, POTW at sntrnetwork.com. Send it to that email, and I want to go through them. I want to pick and go through my community. I want to give someone a spotlight every week, if I can, on their play of the week. I want to see what you can do. But, yeah, I don't know. The clip just started. Let's go ahead and fix that. Apologies. Yeah, we were almost there. We were at the finish line. We were at the finish line with no problems, but so again, this is something I want to give back to the community and let them showcase something. If you don't like getting on the mic, you don't like calling, you don't like doing that, you like to show yourself by what you're doing on the sticks, on mouse and keyboard, please share it with me. I'd like to showcase it, highlight it, bring your plays on to showcase what you can do. Real quick, what I got going on in this clip, I kind of opened up a little bit on this one. This team was collapsing pretty hard. You got that one Titan with a quick swipe, another one following up with a grenade, and then this last one with a double shuriken, and then I got a little cocky at the end because the beginning of the match I got a message. Don't send people messages in the middle of the round. They might turn around and bite you. They might catch you. They might catch you slipping. Don't get caught slipping. Don't get caught with them pants down. Save them messages after the fact. I know some people like to get in their opponent's heads, throw a message or two just prior to get them a little bit worried, but come on. Save the gloating for after the fact. But nonetheless, it was a GG. It was a GG for that team, and it was a good game, and it was a good card that I had in associated with this clip. Like I said, this part is to showcase the viewers. I don't want to put myself every week. That means I gotta come up with something good. That's pressure. I don't want pressure. And I want to showcase what my community is doing. This is what it's about, my community. This show is for the community. I'm just hosting it for the community. I want to give back to the PvP community in the most positive way I think I can. And that's personal, individual, team, or even team plays that are causing the turn of the tide. What's going to give you that game-winning advantage, that round, that kill. That's basically what I want to showcase. Big play potential from everybody. So again, halftime, POTW at sntrnetwork.com is where you can submit. Roughly make it 30 seconds if you can. It will be on loop, just as you see right behind me, and me and the fire team that I have on, we will break down the clip, talk about how you went off, how you yeeted that other guardian, and we will break down big play potential that we've seen thus far from either ourselves, community members, and just going forward in the future. What are ways that we can continuously make big plays as a team to be successful? I want to pull that out and pick the minds of the fire team I have on, because I think showcasing these kind of plays is a big reason why we still play these types of games, because we want to be able to flex. We want to be able to say it with our chest. We want to be able to go out there and, scream a let's go, a pog, all of that. And this is a part of it. This is a big part of it. And I want to highlight you. I want to highlight the community. One big thing also I want to stress to this community, that I want everyone who's in the audience to feel welcome no matter where you come from in the PvP spectrum. If you've never been flawless, or if you do it every weekend, you have a spot here, because everyone can learn from everyone in terms of figuring out that perfect nucleus to make this work. I am always willing to open my ears and willing to listen to the people that are much better, because there's a lot of them out there, and I've learned a lot from them. I've done a lot of growing in my KD and Destiny PvP, and I feel confident enough where I can help people as well, and I can also give back and pay it forward in the best way that I know possible, and that's showcasing really good players, and you know what, really good individuals too, and really good Destiny players, not just really good PvP players, but really good Destiny players, no matter where you fall across this spectrum. So again, lastly, halftime play of the week at SNTR Network is the email you can reach to send me your clip. Please send me your clip. If you're in Lono's if you're joined with Lono's SNTR Presents podcast, if you're a member of that in the tier 1 VIP, or excuse me, the VIP or higher, and this seems interesting to you and you'd like to come on here, get an interview with me, talk, and you play Trials, please hit me up. Let's speak a little bit, let's play a little bit, let's get to know each other, because I would love to have you on here. I want to open up the floor for as many people as I can, just as the floor was open up for me. A big part of this is giving back to the community, and that's the biggest thing that I can do. And this is all a part of the process. This was a part of the show and the original image that I've had for this show when I pitched it to Lono, and he was very happy about it. He was just worried about what's the Trials future look like, and it's something that we're all looking at. Holding season 13 to what they say. They're coming with the armor. We've seen it. They're coming with the new weapons. We've been told it. We're waiting, and I think now is the time, and I want to jump on this train and this early momentum, and I'm really happy you all are a part of it. I truly am. And if we can bring more of you guys in here, please bring your friends. Everyone is welcome. Please, if you like what you see, like it, share it, subscribe it. As always, I can't thank you guys enough for all the support I've received thus far for this show. This was never intended. This was never part of the plan. This isn't something I've been scheming about. Like, I was just minding my own business back before March in 2020, working, And now I'm able to concentrate and be a part of a community that has been extremely welcoming, made me very humble, and I'm ready to be a part of it in a bigger expanse. So I can't thank Lono enough at the SNTR network enough, our buddy Creature, our producer, I can't thank him enough. Can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this. Big things are coming from this channel, from Lono's channel. We are going hard this year in terms of what we are going to bring you in terms of our content. So again, thanks for being here on Saturday night. We had a little bit of short episode. Again, typically there's 2 other fire team members with me. I had really good news, but I'm on standby. My son is supposed to be born any day now at the week tops. So I truly don't know. It could be any minute, and I didn't want to schedule guests and had to cancel the show. But I was able to play a little bit, able to bring you a little bit of insight, and able to show you guys and thank you guys for the most recent support because of the Rageless Roundtable. Things are coming in the future. We got 2 more weeks before reset, 2 more weeks before the new trial season. The big things are coming. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching after the live segment. If you're here on the live segment, thanks so much. Thanks for being a part of the conversation with me. I really can't thank you all enough for being a part of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you're excited for. Let me know what you're worried about too, because I think that's a part of the conversation as well. And hopefully we can get through that worry together. And like I've always said, if there's one thing I want you all to take from this show, is confidence. Confidence to get in there with your buddies, get in there with an LFG and be like, you know what? I'm ready to take this, win or lose. I'm ready to have a little fun, because that's what we're supposed to have in a video game, a little bit of fun. And that's what I'm trying to instill. Fun, confidence, and man, a little bit just so you can pat on that chest a little bit. You get in the lighthouse. So again, thanks for being here tonight. If you're watching after the fact, try to come in here Saturday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern. Got 2 Guardians, myself. We break down the map. We talk about stats. We talk about what's going on in PvP. We even talk about what's going on in Destiny in general. Come be a part of that audience every Saturday night. So thanks again, everybody, for being here. And, as always, stay flawless, Guardians.